Doubt whispers you're not enough. Let's reclaim our divinity and the authority within. Hey guys, it's John sitting here in the studio in the Sit and Love room drinking some water. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. This room, however, is very dark because it's the only way I can control the light for the videos. And I kind of like it in here. It's kind of nice. It's a cool room. And on these sunny, hot days, I get to come in here and just enjoy the studio space itself. Oftentimes, people will doubt themselves. And why do they doubt themselves? The doubt is not a conscious choice. The doubt is a subconscious choice. It's mental noise, the constant chattery that's blocking your own intuition. We overthink things because of our past. We've been told that we're not connected, we're not enough, whatever it is. The subconscious beliefs creates doubt because that doubt comes from the belief that you think it might not happen, or you think it's gonna fail, or you think you're gonna fail, or you think you're not good enough, or you think you're just incapable. And thinking creates that feeling of doubt, and it drowns out the inner wisdom. When you relax and you come back to that natural state within you, where you are just completely relaxed and feeling that divinity within, thoughts come into your head not as a loud chatter that we have to fight over, but as solutions and new forces that move us forward. Our baseline inside of ourselves is love. We have this pure connection to love. Doubt comes from fear. Doubt comes from the subconscious belief that, like I say, that we're incapable. Our societies glorify conformity. You have to look a certain way, you have to feel a certain way, you have to think a certain way. Your certain groups around you, your schools, they reward you for obedience to thinking those certain ways or believing that certain ways. They don't prize originality until originality busts through and it shows itself, and people go, "Wow, that's cool." The people who have been the most impactful in the world are the ones who broke the rules and followed their inner self, followed their inner knowing, became unique among themselves. Right now, if I look at the YouTube spiritual place, I see a lot of people talking about religions and old age ideologies. There's a whole bunch of people talking about new age ideologies, and they're all talking about these different time frames. And what's so interesting is to be different in this space is to not follow either of them. Is to come into your own divinity and choose what you're doing, realizing, of course, that that's what all of the avatars of old said. That idea of you have to believe this way or that way is someone outside of yourself telling you what you have to believe, and they expect you to follow the rules and not follow your inner knowing. Doubt becomes ingrained within you. Religion silences your inner voice, and many people I talk to when they were kids questioned things about their faith to the priest or the nun and got punished for questioning. But it's that questioning itself that shows the inner divinity. It's that questioning itself that shows this doesn't feel right. Remember that Adam and Eve, they ate from the tree of knowledge. They got kicked out of paradise. It didn't feel right. They gave up their feelings, which is their intuition, which is their beliefs, for the ideologies of thought. And it encourages you to have blind trust in leaders rather than in yourself. Even in prayer, when people talk about prayer, they're begging outside of themselves for something, for some bigger power to give it to them. When in reality, all of the teachers of old said that the power is within you. You can ask mountains to move, and it'll move. Nothing's impossible for you. And then doubt gets weaponized against your own individuality. When we outsource our authority to leaders or priests or mullahs or any outsiders or new age gurus, right? When we outsource our authority to these people, we are literally giving up our own experience of individuality. We're declaring that they know better than me, and that if your fear would be to go against what they're saying. Blind faith replaces discernment. You're no longer discerning for yourself what is true for you. When my mom said that spirituality is a personal journey and we must find our own faith, what she was saying was, follow your own discernment. What feels right to you? You must find your own faith. Spirituality is a personal journey.
And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Coffee Time with John. This channel runs off coffee, so get your coffee and tea at johnsjoe.com.
Dependence on others leads to emptiness because you're not going on that inner journey. You're not going to that space within where truth is found in our feelings. We're waiting for validation, and it never comes because waiting for validation is putting faith in needing it. And we start to feel powerless without approval. When you ask outside of yourself when everything's within, you're creating silence. There's nothing there because everything, the kingdom of heaven is within you. And once you ask without and it doesn't happen, you start to feel abandoned by God. I can't tell you how many people tell me they get mad at God. Well, if you and God are one, you're mad at yourself. Because you ignored the inner voice that said, be this, do that. You ignored the intuition that said you can create anything. You can, but when you give your power away to an outside authority, you lose that power. You can overcome this doubt just by simply quieting the mind. Be still and know that I am God. I am God is a statement about you declaring your oneness with God, that you are the direct representation of God on earth. Be still and know that I am God. I can ask mountains to move and they'll move. Nothing is impossible for me. When I pray, I believe I'm receiving it, and that's why it happens, because I believe it. Your intuition is a divine communication. It's the whisper of God within you. You trust your quiet answers. Sometimes they seem ridiculous. Sometimes they seem like if you do that, you'll fall off a cliff, right? But that stillness is usually the way forward. I gave up the word how a long time ago because how's not my job. My job is to declare what is happening and how is God showing me what's happening. Whatever you ask in God's name is granted if you have faith. And God's name is I am, according to Moses. I am. In other words, your declaration, God shows you the idea of your declaration. It doesn't say whatever you ask in God's name is granted if it's good or bad or I want it for you. It says whatever you ask is in God's name is granted. How you ask? Your belief, your faith, what you choose to believe in you now. Whenever you're feeling those negative emotions, understand that that's fear showing itself to you. And you can replace that doubt because fear is always related to doubt. You can replace that doubt by choosing to create. Trust is developed by results over time. And the only way you replace that doubt is to start stepping into your role of creator, start choosing to create your life, start taking those risks that feel risky because of doubt. And then when you start seeing the results of the outcomes, guess what? Your faith grows, your belief grows, you start creating more. And each act strengthens your self-belief. Doubt shrinks as trust expands. You, my friends, are your own authority. The soul holds all your answers. There's no external mediator needed. No middleman is needed for you to touch God because God's within you. Divinity is direct connection, and sovereignty is freedom. There's no one you need to go to find permission to be divine. Responsibility always comes back to you. It's on your shoulders. Power's your own. You have all the power in the world. What are you doing with it? When that true power emerges, you have to start trusting it and believing that you're creating it. Trust births expanded awareness. Your spirit will expand when you start to trust your divinity. Self-belief opens new possibilities. Intuition grows stronger. There's an awareness of your union with the oneness of us all, and that deepens your trust and your faith. Take the time and ask yourself, am I outsourcing my soul? Is there someone else who's telling me the level of my own divinity? My friends, authority is within. Claim it boldly. Go forward with strength and step with confidence. Begin trusting small daily moments. And if you really want to create something different, act on those small nudges. Build your inner faith. Start to create your own stories of self-trust. And collectively, you'll start to empower others because they'll see that within you and they'll start creating from themselves. When I look at this concept of doubt is literally was a paralyzing factor for me. I was told I was worthless and a bum and I had abuse in my life. But in reality, it wasn't until I released the stories that I was telling myself that caused me to have those doubts that I started creating a much more beautiful way. And you can do it too. You have the power within you to create the life because you are the creator, not the doubter. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.